Okay, so it's the next day, February 5th of 2024, and my neighbor gave me some more stuff from her freezer. Bacon, which is already in the freezer. Some broccoli, frozen broccoli again. No, not broccoli, cauliflower, frozen cauliflower. I don't know, some kind of greens, leafy green. And then all this. She asked me if I had room, and I'm like, well, now I'm going to dehydrate it, right? When it comes to cottage cheese, I don't know what that is, can't see it. Anyway, we've got cottage cheese here. Oh my God, give me some glasses. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's see if I can see it with these glasses. Oh my Lord. Oh, this is yogurt. You can actually freeze yogurt. I don't like necessarily frozen yogurt after it unthaws, but in this situation, I'll just attempt to freeze all this stuff, right? What is this? Cottage cheese. So, cottage cheese, cottage cheese, cottage cheese. So we got quite a few trays of cottage cheese, so that's good. And then there's goat cheese. I don't know where I put that. Somewhere. I already lost it. People. And as you can see, my freezer is full now. Alright. So, because I'm making the fruit. Anyway, there's the greens. I ended up buying a few things. So anyway, I think I'm going to have to can. I'm going to have to can. Just have to. Because she gave me some frozen pork. I guess she's taken this all apart, just like that turkey before, which worked out really good, right? So, ribs. One with sauce, one without. So I will can those up as is with a few potatoes, right? And a few pieces of frozen cauliflower, right? And some of those greens. Right? Now, there was goat cheese here. Where did it go? See, I don't see, right, people? Oh, there it is. Apparently this is supposed to be... Andre, she said this was cottage cheese too? There's nothing written on it.
Yeah.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
I guess that's cottage cheese too, so we'll dehydrate all the cottage cheeses. You've seen that before. Even if they're frozen, just unthaw them and they dehydrate really well. You can do yogurt as well, right? Sour cream, whatever. And then we've got, oh my eyes, man, people, you don't know. Here we've got some goat cheese, to which I don't know how well that would dehydrate. But it will, once it unthaws, I'm sure it will break up. And if it's greasy, you'll just have to use either cotton cloth underneath it as it's dehydrating to suck up the oils, or you can use paper towel, which isn't ideal, but I might have to resort to that because I'm just going to dehydrate this and see how it dehydrates after it unthaws. Right? And then, because I'm trying to, you know, do these frozen fruit for drinks, and then I bought some spring roll wraps and bean, you know, a little bag of bean sprouts, which I threw in the freezer because, you know, they don't last very long in your fridge. So just when you buy, if you're finding that they're not lasting, I'm just going to try and throw them. They'll be fine. And throw them in the fridge and then pull them out when you need them, right? Waste not, want not. Same thing with those little snow snap peas, and right. When I did the banana peels, I dipped them in bottled lemon juice. They came out really good. There's a few apple slices, so now I'm going to put those in a bag and keep them separated. And then put them back in the freezer for when we get to a point of making drinks. So I guess I'm going to have to can, because I also took out a piece of pork from my freezer over there. Oh boy, you see, you solve one problem and you create another problem. That's what happens. That's what happens. So because, you know, I'm making this fridge for, I don't want to say smoothies, but basically this top freezer part. Now, I don't know. I have to go into my other freezer and take out this. Which I had in this freezer, but now I have to take this out for as the fruit is piling up. But being that my neighbor gave me some pork that ideally would be nice to have it in broth, I think I'm just going to take this now in the next little while and put it in a pot and start stewing it to make a nice broth for what my neighbor gave me. And I'm going to can at least 7 quarts of pork with a bit of potato, a bit of cauliflower, and the greens that she gave me. And maybe a few pieces of little bit of carrot. Now I can't really see this, but this piece of pork here was $8.80 at $2.48 a pound. Pork picnic bone in. And I think I do have a bone somewhere else, but I don't need that one. This will be enough to make enough stock for the two. And apparently these are ribs, so I could even cook these up. At least half of them, maybe. I have to open up and feel what's inside there. And then that will help to make a richer broth. Right? And then I'll have a bunch of jars after the fact where I don't know where I'm going to put them. Plus I've got some frozen tomatoes in the freezer up here when I had my little grow room with my tomato plants growing. So I can pop in a tomato or two in between my jars, which will be good, right? Because it's taking up too much room. Because basically in this freezer, it's just going to be fruit. To which I actually need to bag these up, so I'll be back. Hold on. Okay, so I managed to get the goat cheese in the fridge, so I'll just leave it there, right? But this is mostly cottage cheese and some yogurt, so I'm going to let these unthaw, and I'm going to dehydrate these, right? That makes it pretty simple. And then I'm going to start a stock pot with that little piece of pork with probably, I'll check these bones, even if I can unthaw and take the bones off, whatever, and then put them in the pot and then save the meat. So I guess in the next day or two I'll be canning. Right? in quart size. Now this was canned in 2014. Andre, come here, please. From what I can tell, underneath this lid, it's not black, right? Underneath in... You see?
I don't see nothing.
Nothing, eh?
No.
Now, I don't feel really any rust, but when I can this, and I've got some like this downstairs in that area that my son wants me to clear out. Don't ask me where I'm going to put this stuff, people. Like, I don't know. It's my daughter, Tisha, was supposed to come over today. You know, I put the olive branch out. She never came and she hasn't even called me. What does that tell you? She got busy. She forgot to call me. Yeah, maybe she's not feeling well. She just can't be bothered. Who knows? Right? That's what I mean. Like, when she leaves to this island in 2 years from now, I'll be blind as a bat. And she'll be calling, and I'll be like, what the hell? Well, why are you calling? What's the point? You're like 2,000 miles away. What happened to Amari? Well, what does it matter? You're not here. I'm just saying. Right? But of course, I'm the one that's wrong for pointing that out. Right? Because I'm hindering her life. I'm putting too much responsibility where, she wants to be free. Like every other young person. Yeah, okay. I hope for your sake, when you get older and life goes on and your kids don't treat you the way you treat me. Oh, no, they won't. No, I'm a better parent. It ain't happening. My kids are going to respect me. Yeah, okay. We'll see about that. No, I could phone, but it's not my place to grovel, people. I shouldn't have to beg for help. I shouldn't have to beg for an adult conversation in terms of you do realize the ramifications of what you're saying. Long term. Right? Why pretend short term when we already know the outcome of the long term? And then I get the pressure of my son. Well, wait till I take you downstairs and I show you what he wants me to move out. That's been there for 14 fucking years, ever since I moved in. Oh, he'd be... Because I won't be, one, moving fast enough. Two, I'll be reluctant to throw food out in the garbage. Three, I'm reluctant to sell off my fabric, even though I'm not in denial, people. I know I can't see very well, right? And I know my eyesight is getting worse, but, I always like to think that, when I'm done with this and I'm done with that, I can actually sit down and, do a few things, like sew or whatever, but, we know I have to get out in the yard, and I can almost guarantee you, by the time I'm done out in the yard, my eyesight will be almost nil to none, if I even make it through the frickin' summertime. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with my eyes. It's too much stress. A lot of it is just too much stress, right? I find that when my kids upset me and, I have to hold back my emotions, or when my landlady upsets me and, I try and hold back my emotions, but the tears come out anyway because they're bringing in the fucking bins or whatever fear tactics that they fucking deploy on me because of I don't know what it is, but outside of, get the fuck out of Canada. You don't belong here no more kind of situation. For whatever strange reason, outside of greed, at the end of the day, and, power tripping and all that crap. Live for the moment, kind of like my daughter, live for the moment. Get as much as you can, fuck everybody else around you. Just whatever. So anyway, I'm not going to call her because, she could be just not feeling very well and not up for it, right? Not that I was up for her to come over here today and help me to do stuff, but in terms of the things that I need done that I've been asking for like a long time. And yeah, there was a couple times she offered to come, but I was in the midst of doing something and it had to be put off. So it's not like she didn't make an effort, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, you're left to be the only daughter out of 3 daughters, as if I wanted my daughters to be murdered and then to have my government fucking cover it up yet to boot. I didn't ask for that, right? Same thing like with this family doctor. I need my disability form filled out by a quote-unquote family doctor, so I'm attempting to try and get a family doctor, and he's not even calling me back. I filled out all the paperwork, it got dropped off. Okay, it was a month and a half late in dropping it off, because, but it's not like when Tisha dropped it off, if he wasn't taking patients, they could have just simply said he's not taking patients. They said, he'll call you. Tell your mom no, he'll call. He hasn't called. That's the same shit that was going on when I was looking for a referral to get eye drops. Nobody was calling me back. They weren't taking patients. And now I'm blind. And my kids are taking advantage of that situation. Both of them. Because it's going to be rough when I go downstairs and have to try and clear out this area with my son saying, get rid of the fabric. You are this, you are that. You. You don't know what you're talking about. You're this, you got this, whatever. And, why you, and it's, why aren't you looking after me and my needs? You don't love me. You love your stuff. It's like, whatever. It's not about loving my fucking stuff. It's about me being stuck in the fucking past in this stupid yard, still working like a dog, thinking that after it's all said and done, I might be able to sit down and make something. But it's getting kind of freaking late with me. I had my chance. It was taken away from me. I had the whip on my back. I did what I needed to do so that my son could even have a fucking house to live in and complain about. Right? Well, my daughter turns her back on me because she wants to be free. Free! Yeah, okay. You go be free. No? Stupid. And that's the kind of stress that makes my eyes get worse and worse and worse because I'm in constant turmoil over my children who don't like to be called children. I'm not a child. I'm an adult. Yeah, well, you're still my child, though. I gave birth to you. You'll always be children. Oh, but I put adult children. Right? You're my child. You're my kid. I gave birth to you. Nobody else but me. That's my passage of right to say that you're my kid. Fuck off. Okay, this is pathetic what's going on with my eyes. And I know stress eggs it on. And the people around me, they know it. And it's like they do it on purpose. Because at the end of the day, if Mom was dead, or if Judy was dead, depending on who you're talking about, the problem would go away. And then they can just come in and pillage, whether it's going in a fucking bin out to the who knows where, or whether it's sell this, sell that, and sell that. Mrs. Gill can have the rest and throw it in the bin. You know? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it, people. That's where it's kind of coming down to. And I'm only 62 years old. And the one thing that holds me back the most, honestly, is my eyesight. Yeah. But it will be my eyesight that will kill me. Or at least have me die faster. Yeah, because nobody has patience for me. Right? They see me as a burden and a waste of fucking time. And somebody to boss around, humiliate, insult, taunt. Whatever it is. Because that's the kind of society we live in. Because if that's not, if that wasn't the case, it wouldn't be happening. You see, Tisha doesn't know how to struggle because she's got Alex. Currently, his income is like $80,000 a year. $80,000. He got a new job, so now his income is coming in at about $80,000 a year. That's a fair amount of fucking money, people. Even Uncle John and I, the best that we got between his income and my income, not including the freaking credit cards, was $45,000 a year, which was at that time a medium income, less than medium income for British Columbia, Canada. The medium income was between 60 and 70. Okay. That's why I had to go into debt, because I was supporting my stupid kids, one way or another. Holding down the fort. Making sure if shit hit the fan, there was enough food to feed all of them, not just some of them. Battled with my landlord for 14 fucking years, basically with the psychological warfare and the whip on my back, just so that my kids always had a place to come back to, and if they needed fucking food. But Tisha doesn't need any of that, because Alice can, make all this good ass money, and then, because he's got a little bit of property sitting up on some fucking island, they're gonna go off and buy another little piece of property and build a house and move away. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You go ahead. You move away. Because they have a right to live their own life. Yeah, you're right. They do. They do. This is no good. This was in my room. It sounded funny. Before it did that, it was like that, but because my room was cold, the lid was like that, but when I tapped it, it sounds completely different. This is fine. Sounds hollow. This is not. I brought it out because I was in my room putting stuff away, and over the course of the night, it being in warm air, it popped. Now, because it's meat, from what I can tell, looks like beef from what I can tell, the responsible thing to do, get 2 separate pots of water boiling, open up your jar, pour the contents into one boiling pot, and basically boil it for 10 minutes before you bag up the contents and throw it out into the garbage, where the empty jar with the lid you put into the other pot of boiling water, and you boil it for 10 minutes before you wash it, in the event of it may have botulism. Doesn't mean it does. It's just in case. And then this way you're not contaminating the environment or your kitchen or when things go down the drain into the water. Right? So I have to do that first. And I'm glad that popped, because I was kind of thinking that jar was no good because of the way it sounded. But it was deceiving, because it was like that sitting in my room. But as soon as I brought out into warm air, it confirmed my suspicions. So I will do that first. I will leave Tisha alone, because she ain't calling. She said she was going to come. Now, she may call and say, oh, I forgot. I got busy. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow or next week or whatever. But there's a rift between us people. And she's basically blaming me for it. For not fucking giving her my blessings to, have me look after her kids 2 times a week, right up until the moment she fucking leaves, and then say la vie, I'll just phone and see how you're doing and catch up with the gossip. And that's assuming that I am alive in 2 freaking years from now, never mind being able to see. My kids are playing with fire in terms of, well, maybe it'd be easier if Mom was just dead. Then I wouldn't have to argue with her no more. I could just have my way. Have a tantrum. But she'll be dead. I don't need to have a tantrum. I can just have my way. I can do whatever the fuck I want with whatever I want. Fuck Mom. Yeah. That's pretty much what it boils down to. As they guilt trip me. Well, you don't love me. You just think about your stuff. Yeah, well, you're asking me to move a whole bunch of fucking food storage that's, whatever, oh, you don't need your fabric. You don't need your fabric. Why do you need it? Well, I don't know. Maybe I like to sew. Your girlfriend can sew, but your wife can sew, but I can't. Well, you can't see no more, so you don't need it. It's just taking up space. Yeah, well, maybe if you came out in the fucking yard and helped me over the last freaking 14 years since we lived here, maybe there wouldn't have been so much fucking fabric. But the last time I checked, you weren't out there helping me. I was out there by myself. With the 99% of it. Yeah, you moved a few this and a few that. Oh, yeah, okay. Right? Right? Tisha mowed a little here and mowed a little there. But when it came to anything else... So if I got too much fucking fabric... Well, why don't you take some responsibility for that? It doesn't give you the right to tell me to fucking get rid of it just because it's a burden to you. You move. Seriously. I could find somebody to move downstairs that would love to live downstairs, people. Right? Love to live down there and cut them a deal on their fucking rent so that they can fucking actually help me. Help me. Do you need any help, Judy? Well, yeah, actually I do, because I can't see very well anymore. Can you help me with this? Can you do a little something in the yard? Right? They would love to have that opportunity. Oh, you're just going to bring in people to steal off you, just another Ken. No, shut up. Last time you brought somebody in, what was your friend fucking doing? Going around stealing off of everybody, so you ain't nobody to talk, Markane. Like, you know? But he won't move. And I'm trying to have a good attitude about it, people. But, like, my heart's going to be ripped out. That's what's happening. I'm crying before it even started. Because he's expecting too much. And then asking to move in a girl that is self-centered. Yeah. She didn't come up and ask me if I need help. No. Because he told her, don't help my mom. My mom's bossy. Yeah, okay. You raised 5 fucking kids, Marcaine. Right? You deal with it. You deal with fucking crooked landlords and all this other stupid shit. Or whatever it is that you go through. You go into fucking $40,000, $50,000 in debt to feed a bunch of fucking kids that don't have no fucking respect for you. You fucking do it, Marcaine. And then after that, watch your kids start fucking dying while the government covers up murder. And see the fuck how you feel about it. Okay? As what little kids you have left turn their backs on you and walk away and throw you away like yesterday's garbage. Okay? And then fucking dig up my grave, pull me up, look at me and say, Mom, you were right. You were fucking right. And that's assuming that he can even have kids. That's assuming that he can even have kids. For all I know, for all he knows, for all his wife knows, they could be sterile. Considering what they support when it comes to new technology and being experimented on. Just saying. So I got a lot I have to do, so I'm just going to do it. And maybe I'll just... My computer is running on high. I don't have no room. I have to get another external hard drive. I bought this shit instead first. I bought 4 more bottles of this. Okay? So that gives me 12 bottles, which is more than enough in combination of what I got in the house. That will last for several years, because not only can you use sesame seed oil for cooking, but you can use it for massage. And once I'm all done with this crap, in terms of putting it away, right? And I don't have to do it no more. But by then I'll be blind as a bat and I won't, it just, like, I don't know. I don't know, that my kids don't appreciate me, people. They just don't. Well, I guess if you're sitting on $80,000 a year, buying island property to build a house, why should you care? Right? That's what I'm like, you know, there's no struggle. If my daughter had to struggle really fucking, oh sure, they live in an apartment, but they choose to live in an apartment, right? That's what they want. And they're going to continue to live there until they move to the island, after they build a house. Yeah, okay. And then I become yesterday's news. Like I said, something to fucking gossip about. Gossip about. How's Mom? Well, she's having it pretty rough. Oh, really? Well, that's too bad. Wish I could be there to help. Oh, shut up. Plenty of opportunity to fucking help. Don't want to help. But as her kids get older, she's going to expect them to help her. I'm just saying. At some point, sooner or later, it's just a matter of time. Okay, don't worry about it, right? Do until you can't do anymore, right? You come into this world alone, and you leave this world alone. And when you go, what happens is poof. Literally, poof. Nothing moves except you, and everything else gets left behind. And it becomes silent. Right? And you just can't turn back the clock. In other words, I can't get Shmay back. I can't get Sierra back. I can't get Uncle John back, because if Shimei was here, it would definitely be fucking different. Let me tell you that right now. Sure, Shimei and I, we balked and fought. Just like I balked and fought with every... that's what parents do, right? They bump heads with their kids as they're growing up because they know, right? But at the end of the day, Shimei was the one that was starting to learn how to fucking can. Shimei was the one that was helping me with the paperwork with Uncle John, right? Shimei was the one who told me that she appreciated the books and that if anything happened to me, she would keep them. Not get rid of them. Not throw them out because they're burdensome. No, she actually liked them because she appreciated knowledge at her fingertips without having to Google it. And she educated herself. She didn't wait for somebody to force her to do it. She just did it. And if Sierra was here, for all her fucking flaws, trust me, she'd be helping me with whatever I fucking needed. Whether it was in the yard, cleaning, it wouldn't have mattered. She'd help me. And she wouldn't be asking me to throw out this and throw out that and get rid of this and gimme, and gimme some more until there's nothing left to fucking give, and then, you know, just kick rocks. Get out of here, piece of shit. She wouldn't have done that. All right. Okay. Obviously it bothers me, right? More so because of this. Because I'm helpless to stop it. I can't stop it. And people are taking advantage of it. And the worse it gets, the worse it's going to get for me. In terms of how I'm going to be treated because of what's happening to me. Alright, what else? You don't need to see me dehydrate cottage cheese. You already know, right? I've already done it. You don't need to see me put a piece of meat with some bones into a pot to make broth to can. Now maybe when I'm canning and I'm filling up the jars and I'm ready to get to that point, because I'm not going to throw out my neighbor's food. I appreciate what she's done in terms of giving it to me, right? Because I'd like to think I'm still going to be able to see in a year or two or whatever from now, and we'll be using it, right? I'm not going to be wasteful. I'm not going to take things for granted. I'm not going to be unappreciative. And I'm not going to feel guilty for having that kind of character. Right? Because I get punished and criticized and emotionally beat up for having that kind of character. All right. End of subject.